Healing from Senna, the shielding from Orianna. A lot of tools that if single members are isolated, they will just get absolutely obliterated, especially when you factor in the buffs to Kha'Zix on patch 10.14, 120% isolated target bonus damage on the Kha'Zix Q. So even more important to not be caught out alone, but two very interesting compositions. I feel like Misfits Gaming is a comp and a style that we have seen so much across this split. Standard picks, it feels like across the board, whereas Fnatic, they've got a few more interesting things. The carry Senna, the Cho'Gath on the top lane feels like a Bwipo special, and the Kha'Zix rising in priority from what we've seen today. But back, he's playing, giving a lot of respect to the Sett jungle. Little does he know, Sett is waiting in the darkness here.
Don't do it, Bwipo. You are playing weak side right now. Don't get greedy. Fnatic fans, they're holding their breath. They're like, not again! We've
seen it before. And you talk about it, there comes Razork, he's going to pull him back, he's already flashed out, now he's pulled in, but the Aatrox is just too far away, now he has to flash forward. Bwipo's going to go for the sidestep, he gets yanked back and dunked down. First blood for DanDan. Honestly, well played by Misfits.
And the question will be what that actually means for Fnatic and cross-map, because yes, very well done for DanDan and Razork topside, but it's not like at this point, Selfmade can even pivot this. Thank you, Becco. And they could just tank the minions forever to force a freeze or to allow Rekkles to grab minions.
Oh no, Bwipo's getting aggressive, but Selfmade's on the way up. They have a lot of burst damage, but they're a little bit behind overall right now, and there's just a lot more effective combat stats on the side of Misfits. Bwipo's gonna walk in and get taken out one more time, and Fnatic already falling so behind in this early game. Frosco.
Look, count the minions! Sacrifice so much farm just to sit behind lanes or to hard gank them. So maybe this is just a wider problem of a synergy issue for Fnatic, but we've talked enough about them. On the other side, hell yeah, Misfits! They're now, most teams are playing, again, mostly bot-centered teams, especially teams like Rogue. Hold it.
No. We're just gonna, oh god.
That was cool though.
That was really well played by Febiven. Really good concept coming in from Fnatic. But that was, you talked about poor coordination. That was
first here for this potential dive. Now Selfmade is sprinting, but speaking of sprinting, Febiven also moving very quickly with his little bird legs.
4v3. As we said, a lot of utility here for Fnatic. They can mitigate a lot of the potential damage output between the Unbreakable as well as the heal and shields that come in from Rekkles. They're committing anyway. That's going to be the knock-up, but once again, Hylissang wants to go forward. The rest of the team does not. There's coordination there, but they will trade ult for ult. Leona for Braum. However, again, another incident where it feels like Fnatic players maybe not on the same page.
Yeah, that was a bit of a head-scratcher there. That's all I got.
I mean, he traded ult for ult, so at the end of the day, it's not...
And it's actually forced Selfmade to change up his pathing to help cover Bwipo, but now things have evened out, and it's now time for them to be more proactive.
Try again. Snap back on the ball. They're waiting this time, but now he's dug back under the tower. Selfmade, no! Finally, they managed to connect on the double shockwave, but now Nemesis is getting chased down. That's the Infernal Chains, the flash out to safety.
I stand corrected, Drakos. That was a trust fall.
Misfits, they will not have any bug stains on their windshield.
And now we've got the Riptail. They're going to slam these plates into Kobbe's pocket and be in a very nice position for this Infernal spawning in 2 seconds. This is all Misfits.
Oh, and with the power of the Herald, Fnatic aren't going to be quite as immovable, but still remain just about undiveable. So in the meantime, we'll start up this Drake. And it's important to remember, if you're a Misfits fan, you've been here before. You have watched Misfits win an early game against Fnatic. The thing that went wrong was late game.
That was a miracle Baron steal, Drakos.
It was a miracle Baron steal.
Misfits fans are like, we've got him on the ropes, guys. Like, we've got scaling with the Azir. Kobbe is huge. We have inside track as perma priority mid lane. Let's get this dive going, and here comes the TP.
If they fumble this team fight, Fnatic can get right back in the game. Febiven's now on the backside, but he's scooping them back under their own tower. Rekkles is not going to get the ultimate out. It's going to be interrupted. Nemesis is now here. Bwipo now coming in. Doss going to buy a bit more time, though, and Febiven's made a turret of his own. This is disastrous. Febiven is still alive. Misfits, everyone's still up. No one goes down. They take down Rekkles. They take the tower. They get everything they want. Fnatic burns so much just to try and survive.
Crisp dive there. The fact that they also got the teleport off of Bwipo. That's level 11 Aatrox to level 9 Cho, and Bwipo might not get anything out of this. Let's see if Misfits can survive and walk out.
Is this even...
Oh no, they're hurting him. Oh no!
They were just going to back off, but instead they're going to commit. Now they're going to get dunked back down again, and they're just going to get obliterated. The healing, or the shielding rather, coming in from Rekkles from the base. Nice to have the semi-global, but they're just going to lose another 2 kills. Fnatic re-engaged while Aatrox was taking things on the top side of the map. This is... Not afford to be undecisive, of course. Meanwhile, in that picture-in-picture, you did see Fnatic getting frisky in the mid lane, though. Have to keep our eyes if a fight will break out here. Razork not going to connect on the face bigger, but Bwipo potentially in trouble to punch through coming in. The shockwave lands, but it doesn't nearly have the effect they needed to as Unbreakable falls away. Hilly's going to be in trouble. Infernal Chains coming down, and Fnatic are once again forced to back away. This is almost a 6K gold lead game against Fnatic.
That would just be salt in the wound. Now you can see they're moving over to Herald as a last-ditch effort. I've seen that one before.
3 times now. Selfmade will back off here, but this time he's going to go back in. He's fully committed, doesn't quite have enough damage, but you can see those Kha'Zix buffs do make the champion terrifying. Even at a 2-level disadvantage, he's still almost shredding.
What cost?
They set up blast cone over the wall, leap 15, 16 second cooldown at this point in the game. Should have enough time if he can juke DanDan. Nope. Is just going to have to execute to the tower here.
Now, while all of this is happening, the Rift Herald...
Steal objective
I don't know, are Misfits on Vodafone?
Woo! All right. Agreed. Continue forward on this one. But Bwipo's down almost 3 levels, Froskurinn. This is a... Elder is a big issue. Cloud, normally I would say, is not the biggest deal, but given how clearly disruptive Azir ult has been this entire game...
It doesn't matter, Baron, anyway, and Fnatic know, like, we must sit here. We have a 1 minute 40 before the... Oh.
Stealth, Kobbe knocked up, trying to get the pull back. The dunk down on the suplex, though. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Selfmade going forward, and he finds one. That's the first kill for Fnatic. He stealths up, he walks away. Doth now trying to look for the re-engage. Febiven coming in as well. Down goes Selfmade. Now comes the Rupture. Hylissang on the retreat, needs to leap over to Bwipo, but will not get the chance. Double kill in favor of Misfits, traded back for 1, and the shutdown. Overall gold for Fnatic, not too bad after that one, but definitely not putting themselves further ahead with that play.
Some of their creativity trying to force right there, but...
Misfits will not find a re-engage.
But it's the fact that Fnatic are falling back to their old tricks. Create a bush, stand in the bush, catch someone unaware, and then try to create a numbers advantage. But now, Misfits have them, all 5 members are here. They're just going to tear through Fnatic in this fight.
DanDan on the front line is basically unkillable. They don't have enough damage to shut him down. Rekkles on the backside does not do nearly enough. They get a perfect shockwave, but it just does not do the damage to take out a single member of Misfits. And now DanDan's running him down. He's going to back off. Bwipo looking for the Rupture over the wall. But it's just going to be Selfmade getting traded away. The turret gets set up, and Misfits set their sights on Cloud Soul. Yep,
their health bars aren't strong enough to go for the Baron, so they're going to secure the Soul and then play around the Baron when both junglers are back up and healthy right there. Really like this one. Febiven placing down Vision and just basically being in the area to dissuade Bwipo possibly going over the wall.
It's a bit of a nightmare, though, Froskurinn, because...
Miracle Shockwave, and Misfits, again, they're really confident just pulling off this Baron. They have a lot of ways to just immediately shift damage.
Remember, Kha'Zix can stealth into the pit, and it's very difficult to interrupt him, but Selfmade is not stepping forward. They are going to give up this Baron, and Doss is going to get the fight kicked off. Knockup comes in, Selfmade off to the flank. Decent Shockwave, but not hitting a ton of members. Selfmade getting zoned away by Razork. Low health bar. If he isolates himself, he's going to be in trouble. RKO walks back to the team. And now the retreat here. Febiven's been caught out. He's going to use the Emperor's Divide, but it might be too little too late. Febiven will be shut down here for Fnatic, but at the cost of the Baron.
One for their troubles right there, but like you said, multiple Barons getting out from Make Your Life Hell on one of those side lanes, especially because Fnatic at this point actually just need to be grouped up. They can't play this side lane game at all.
And plus, as we've looked at these fights, it's not like Nemesis has not been hitting great shockwaves.
Out pretty significantly. Feels like Misfits are probably playing for Elder unless Fnatic just pick a horrific fight and lose all their structures.
And whatever we've talked about in terms of team coordination for Fnatic, the coordination gets easier and easier when you're just in this hold situation, when your job is to survive against the Baron. And more importantly, this is where the veterancy of Fnatic really starts to pay off. You get into these late game situations, they have more experience here than just about any other team in the league. Rekkles, though, will get caught out, and right as I say that, he might just get taken down. A lot of sustain, though. Rekkles still alive. DanDan on the backside, but he's exhausted. The healing, the shielding. DanDan can't get anything done. They do manage to take the tower, however. Fnatic will keep all their members alive, but that's the 2-man shockwave. They want to re-engage. Doss still living. Razork steps forward. That's the shutdown. Nom, nom, nom from Bwipo, and Fnatic have bought themselves a bit of time.
And you're starting to see how difficult it is.
We're going to get at this game, but
Misfits the flash.
Pushing in on the bottom side. Fnatic fishing for that pick, fishing for some kind of advantage, but it is always going to cost you something when you're this far behind into this pit. They can see that the objective's been started. They can see it getting chipped away at. Maybe this is Bwipo's time to flash in to devour, but he still has to outmatch a Kalista Ren, so it will be difficult.
Making sure that all Fnatic members are coming from the same side. DanDan does have a very deep flank.
Doss gonna get the party kicked off. Now Razork gonna flash forward. The RKO coming back. Rekkles gonna try to heal across the rest of the team, but Bwipo's still alive. They managed to get one before the fight even goes through. DanDan isolated off to the side. Cho'Gath though slowly getting chipped down. That's the double shockwave. Fnatic pushing forward. Fnatic, are you kidding me? They're crushing through the fight. It's all eyes on Febiven, but he's locked up. The concussive blows are too much for him to deal with. The triple kill for Nemesis. Hell of a rough early game, but what a turnaround for the boy in the mid lane.
And finally, 31 minutes into the game, it feels like Fnatic are really starting to lose some of its steam here.
And Froskurinn. I said it at least 3 times this game, to the point where
available for Razork, but he is in the area, and I actually think they're just going to give this one up. So Misfits are going to have to take their hands off the wheel for at least around 5 minutes, where Fnatic get more breathing room. Horrific the early game was is pretty much even.
Well, and it's crazy because
like look at the gold that they just made up.
Yeah, they're almost dead even. They went from I think 8K, almost 9K deficit at worst, to now only 1K behind. They're pushing in. Their buffs more than make up for that gold difference. They're going to break an inhibitor before Misfits even get the chance to. And Bwipo, despite being behind this entire game, is absolutely fearless. Doss is going to be forced out there. Ult's going to come in, which is the dream case for Senna, because she's like, you're telling me I get to damage 5 people and heal 5 people at the same time? That's nuts. So much team fighting power.
There we go, Siege attempt number 2. Now DanDan is backing and looking for a flanking teleport. There is a ward directly beneath Fnatic. We'll see if he uses it.
But for Misfits, the head rules for tiebreakers, unless there's a 3-way tie, the team that wins in the second half, I believe, owns the head-to-head.
Yep, which means that Fnatic would own the head-to-head with Misfits. Could be huge for playoffs, as this might be the last team fight.
Slow, Selfmade trying to buy space. Good damage now coming in. Doss once again caught out. He's going to be locked down. Concussive blows has been procced. The flash forward for Bwipo. That's a 3-man knockup, but there goes a big ult on the backside. Misfits caught out, taken down. Kobbe's still alive, trying to do what he can, but he's throwing spears and it's not quite having the effect.
It is over.
Rekkles going to finish him off, harvesting that soul. DanDan on the run. One more concussive blow stack for good measure, and DanDan goes down. Misfits are done for the big Bwipo. That's a very slow Febiven. The knockup comes through. The Emperor's Device not enough, and this time he gets dunked down. Finally, Selfmade finds his kill. The turret will fall. The Nexus will fall, and Fnatic will reign supreme. 2-0 over the spring split over Misfits Gaming.
And finally, some smiles on the Fnatic players' faces. Now that said, the lane phase was a little bit questionable.
and if you look, there's things to be happy about for both these teams. Fnatic, late game team fighting, beautiful. They played their comp to perfection. Misfits, early game, absolutely smashed Fnatic.